I remember when I was in secondary school, I was in SS3 to be precise, and there was this classmate of ours. She slapped another classmate. That she slapped another SS3 student, and I didn't find it funny. I wasn't the one who got slapped, but I didn't find it funny. In fact, there was another classmate who tried to make a caricature of the whole situation, and I challenged her. Every other person who tried to make a joke out of that situation, I remember challenging all of them. Now, I wasn't the one who got slapped, but I couldn't for the life of me fathom why an SS3 student will slap her classmates. Hi, Christy Me lovers. How you guys doing? So this is going to be a very long video. I want to plead with you guys to be very patient and watch till the end. Please like, comment, and share because there is a lot to learn. You guys know it's all about movies for me or my projects, but from time to time, I like to wade into certain matters and I try to talk to you guys about it because I feel that there is something everyone can learn from it, right? So, today I'll be talking about what has been trending on the internet. I mean, anybody who is online knows that the Ibom air issue has been trending since Monday, right? So, in fact, that's one of the reasons I didn't post yesterday because I've been very unsettled. So, I woke up to this news on Monday about this young lady who flew Ibom Air, and she and the air hostesses they had altercations. There were issues about wanting her to switch off her phone. She didn't switch off her phone, which led to what we eventually saw online because I cannot actually say what happened prior to what the videos we have seen online. I cannot tell. Only eyewitnesses can actually say what exactly happened, right? But what I am speaking on is the videos that paraded the internet, all the videos we watched. Waking up to that video, I saw how this girl was treated. Like, oh my goodness, I have never seen someone manhandled in such a manner. In fact, I try not to see things like that because it just keeps me very unsettled. I'll try not to make this video very long, but the part that caught my attention was the part where a particular air hostess pulled up this girl's blouse and exposed her bosom. And it didn't just end there. The person who was recording kept on recording and they eventually uploaded this video on the internet. Ah, my goodness. And that's just like got everything, all the hairs around my body standing because I was like, this is the height of it. I understand that this girl's conduct was very bad given what the videos we watched, because we saw her hitting the air hostess and fighting with all those security personnel on the ground. We saw all of that. But the moment I saw that girl's bosom outside, I just knew that that was the end for me because as far as I'm concerned, there is nothing you are telling me that girl did that is worse than what you people did to her. I mean, nothing on earth. I have never seen it. Like, we have people who are badly behaved all over. People who have committed, like, unthinkable crimes. I don't think I've ever seen anyone paraded without their clothes on. And this girl was exposed in that manner. And immediately, I decided to lend my voice. I'm one who I usually mind my business. You will never really catch me in matters that do not concern me. And like I said earlier, that incident that happened in my secondary school and a couple of other incidences made me realize that I am one who does not shy away from the face of injustice. I am one who will lend my voice in the face of injustice. I am one who never keeps quiet when there is injustice, especially this sort of injustice. Like, I don't really need to tell you guys about the story. The story is everywhere. The videos are everywhere, all over the internet. You guys should Google it. Her name is Comfort Emanson. Just Google the case of Comfort Emanson and Ibom Airline. I'm here speaking to you guys today because I personally, I am one who has encountered issues like this one too many times. You know, when I made a post about this on my IG, I saw someone making a comment like, but what the girl did is not fair, da 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 da, let's not be sentimental. And I was like, no, there is no sentiment about this. And somebody was even telling me about me being emotional and all of that. I said, yes, I am emotional. As far as this case is concerned, I am emotional. I actually, goodness, you guys need to watch this video. The way that girl was treated, my God. And considering that somebody, a well-known musician in this country, did something even worse than what that girl did a few days before. And he was, the way they handled him, they practically handled him with kid gloves. They actually treated him like royalty, like a king that he is. But when it came to this girl's turn, this girl was dragged. This girl was manhandled. And somebody is telling me I'm being emotional. Hello, I am human. I have blood running in my vein. And then the fact that they even went ahead to expose this girl's bosom was what even just got me to my very soul. Here's what I want to say about this. I am very happy that there was an outcry and the Minister of Aviation and all authorities involved actually heard our outcry. Even though we know that there might be an undertone. Of course, whatever decision they have taken might not be far-fetched from the fact that a senior person did this and everybody was like, to err is human and to forgive is divine. Okay. But when it got to Comfort's case, she was remanded. In fact, I did a video on that Monday asking where is Comfort? Because at that point, nobody had said anything about her. I was like, were there no eyewitnesses on this airline? Nobody's coming forward to say anything. Because the videos I watched, as far as I'm concerned, were one-sided videos. If you guys notice, when they were making those videos, the air hostesses, every other person there, they were very conscious. They were acting very demure. They were acting very, composed and all of that. Because they knew that the camera was on them. They didn't show us what happened before they started recording. And I just knew that this was an injustice on the part of this girl. And I had to speak. Thank goodness it wasn't just me. Every other person saw what I saw. Granted, the girl didn't behave well, the fight and all, we saw everything. But what did you guys do? Because if you watch the video well, she was even asking the air hostess, what did you do? What did you do? When the air hostess was saying, she hit me, she slapped me. She was asking her, what did you do? And that brings me to one of the major reasons I'm making this video. Guys, let us pray. Wherever you are watching me, pray you never find yourself in a situation where your reactions are being recorded. Pray that you never find yourself in a situation where you are having issues with a gaslighter. I mean, we've seen these things play out. Let's not all pretend. Forget that people are coming online to say, oh, the girl was this, the girl was that. What we watched were her reactions. What happened before she reacted that way? This is not me excusing her reactions. No, because two wrongs don't make it right. But I'm asking, even if in the court of law, they will ask, what happened before she reacted in that manner? We have seen it play out. In marriages, we see some marriages where a particular couple is always acting, all quiet, a narcissist. And then people tend to blame the other spouse because that other spouse is loud. We've seen cases like this play out in offices where there is a case of two fighting and one person is acting, when they're fixed before people, one person is acting all holier than thou. All of a sudden, that person becomes quiet. We've seen it play out in churches, in organizations, in associations, in schools. I am sure if you guys check, you probably have experienced this in the past. Or even most recently, where somebody triggers you and then the person is acting like he or she is the victim. Come on, guys. Let's be truthful. We all have at one point in time experienced this kind of treatment. And I am asking you guys today to please pray fervently not to experience this kind of presence, because we know that there are people like that. We know that there are people that when they're talking, you can barely hear their voice. Have you seen people that, when they are upset, they can never scream. You don't will ever hear their voice. They will trigger you. There are some people that they will pinch you. They will pinch you. They will bite you in such a way that, you will scream out. And when you scream, another person hears and like, why they shout like that? And the person is acting all composed. Acting like, I don't even do anything. No. I do you something. What I do you? I don't do anything. No. Let's be factual. Let's be truthful. We have witnessed these things happen not once, not twice. I'm watching that air hostess that was saying, she's slapping me, when she was acting Agada Bachiruzo. I just knew that she had done something to that young lady. Because another video eventually surfaced where the young lady was pleading with her, let me pass, let me disembark. Every other person has left this aircraft. Let me go. And she barricaded the way. We all saw that video. Prior to that video surfacing online, everybody was already blaming the girl. She's so uncouth. She's uncultured. She's this, she's that. One woman even said, she was dressed like a Ron's girl. Whatever the reason, nobody had the right to expose that girl like that. Like, I still feel pained talking about this. I still feel pained. Nobody. I have had my own fair share of things like that. I have had times where, because I talk, I'm outspoken, I'm opinionated, I'm trying to say something, I'm trying to express my emotions, I'm trying to say, this thing you're doing is hurting me. And people, the case is turned against me, and people just make it look like, she's overreacting, and she's crying more than the bereaved, and I've had cases like that. I've had cases where people would maltreat me, trigger me in such a way that, I would react. And when I react, it becomes an issue. I have had first-hand experience. Maybe that's why this issue touched me very well. Because you're showing me clips. You're showing me videos where the girl is reacting. What did you do to her? Even when that girl was taken into the bus, only God knows, they would have panel beaten that girl. They couldn't give him Duke and Shaggy. That man she was trying to fight in that bus, therefore don't give that girl as in Duke and Banza for that bus. Nobody will tell me otherwise. Even when the girl was crying, where's my wig? Where's my shirt? You can see they had ripped off they had taken off her wig, they had even ripped off her blouse. That's when you know that, yes, they actually did things to that girl off camera. And I pray and hope that they investigate this issue and nothing is swept under the ground. Like I mentioned in my post on IG, I'm like, let all parties be sanctioned. In fact, for me, I feel that girl has gotten enough sanction. Like, you guys sentenced her to Kirikiri immediately. It wasn't even up to 24 hours. She was remanded in Kirikiri. Make it make sense. Meanwhile, a senior citizen did something even worse days before and nothing. We just heard, there's a ban, and eventually he came and made an apology. Why didn't you give this girl a fair hearing? Why didn't you give her an opportunity to explain herself and eventually tender an apology? Yes, now, what is good for the goose is good for the gander. What we practice in this country is selective justice. That's it. When it concerns somebody who is influential, somebody who has affluence, it is treated with kid gloves. But when it concerns someone who is not a public person, a celebrity, or a government official, you don't buy case. Why? These are part of the reasons why this whole thing pained me. Excuse me. Even most recently, I was driving. I had a presentation that morning, and one of these traffic lights, I was looking at time. I wasn't even speeding, and then it got to the traffic light. I was watching it. It was on green, and then I was just driving, just for me to pass. I hadn't even gotten to the traffic light. I'll try to attach clips to this video, and boom, This policeman just came, they just surrounded my car. If less than few seconds, I was that. So that was when I was like, what's going on? Because I actually stopped. If I wanted to speed past, I would have done that. But I actually stopped because I saw how they came at me and I stopped. And then I looked up and realized that, oh, the lights had turned red. And I didn't know. And immediately I was like, please, 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 I'm sorry. I didn't see this. I was trying. They were like, calm down, calm down, calm down. Like, why are we so power intoxicated in this country? Why? Small authority like this, and oh my God, small opportunity where they give person, it go make it buy anybody with the under or anybody will just misbehave. Why? It wasn't up to a minute. I was trying to plead with these guys, hoping they would understand. One of them just went to my plate number, ripped it, just took it out. I sat in my car. I sat behind my steering. I was just looking at them. I didn't say anything. They were like, why now? I just knew that if I had brought out my glass, they would open that car. They would force themselves inside my car. I refused to wind down. I sat down there. I was like, what is my offense? Why did you tear out my plate number? Or my number plates? Why? They left me. I stayed there. Then the next thing, I took out my phone. I started recording. And I had to call somebody I know in the VIO office, like, please, for offenses, is this even an offense? Because I made sure I took videos. Like I said, I will attach clip. It's not like I had passed, I had driven past the traffic light too. No, I will show you guys evidence. Fast forward to minutes later, a Jeep came, and, almost the same thing. Because that traffic light, I wasn't sure it was showing the orange light. I think it was just green to red. I can't remember. And this guy was caught up like me, just like me. He was by my side. And none of these policemen went to tell him anything. And I was, talking to them through my glass, like, see, look, this is somebody else. Long story short, another guy came. I think he was a senior officer. When he saw that I was making videos, he was like, madam, what happened? And I explained to him. And he went to get my number plates. He apologized and then I left. So these are things we see play out every day in this country. Forget the fact that this made it to the internet. There are people who go through dehumanizing moments simply because the person who is attacking them chose to play the victim. Like I said, we have seen it play out even in marriages, in relationships, where one person gaslights the other, when one person is a narcissist, and then people look at the other person like the villain, whereas that's not the case. So that was what I sensed in this girl's case. When I saw those, I was like, this is a one-sided narrative. Tell us everything that happened before you guys started recording. Thank goodness the Minister of Aviation has waded in and reduced the sentence, but it's quite unfortunate the girl was remanded in Kirikiri. I'm just imagining the kind of trauma that girl would have undergone. I'm hoping that there will be psychologists, to just talk her through these moments, because I can't imagine what that girl is going through, knowing fully well that her body was exposed to the internet, so on the internet like that. I'm hoping that God heals her, makes her feel better, and I hope she has learned a lesson or two from this. And I also want to tell people, please, if you're in that habit of gaslighting people, of doing something to trigger someone, and then when that person reacts, you want to cry foul, please stop. Please stop. Please stop. Like, everybody's calling out that Ibom air hostess now because her pictures are everywhere. Wherever she is, I'm sure she will not have rest of mind because people didn't have anything good to say about her, about that particular lady. How that air hostess now, how do you feel subjecting your fellow woman, a girl that you're far older than, to this kind of humiliation? How do you feel? Like, I just wonder how some people feel very comfortable maltreating others, and then they're smiling and they're wearing this face like, the innocent person. I wonder. Sometimes I did think and say, Ekwensu Anora Hellfire is right here with us. Because the way and manner some people behave, I don't sure anywhere Ekwensu anywhere. The Ekwensu not with us. I just pray, like the aviation minister has said, that they would there will be more investigation and every culprit should be brought to book. Those air hostesses that recorded that girl, the people who released her exposed body online, please, I beg, Honorable Minister of Aviation, I beg you, sir. Even if there is nothing you guys can do to those people, make themselves enter that kiri, go stay there like 2 days, I mean 3 days, like this girl stayed. Let that serve as a deterrent to them. And I want to seize this opportunity to thank the Nigerian Bar Association, because when I made the video on Monday, I was calling, even I think on Tuesday, I was like, God, is there nobody that can come and speak for this girl? Where is her family? Where are her relatives? Where are her friends? Let somebody even come and say something about this girl. Oh, I know this girl, oh. I know this girl, she's not like that. Because people were already beginning to tag her all manner of names. But I thank God the NBA came out. In fact, they were willing to provide pro bono services for her to ensure she has a good lawyer that will make a case for her. Thank you so much, NBA. Thank you to every well-meaning Nigerian that came out to lend a voice to this cause. And for those of you who kept making excuses, trying to crucify the girl because of what the one-sided video you watched, repent. Remember, we all have families. I'm sure if you're not a lady, you have a lady in your family. You either have a sister, a cousin, a niece, anybody. It could be anybody in your family tomorrow. This whole situation can be someone else's story in your family tomorrow. And let's see if you keep the same energy. Like I said, guys, let's be careful out there. Be careful how you treat others. Do not feel like, oh, because I have the power, I have the authority, I can behave anyhow I want and get away with it. No. For everything you do, there is always a rippling effect. If it doesn't come to you, it will come to somebody. Best believe it will come to somebody around you. Honestly speaking. Please, guys, share this video so others can learn. It doesn't cost anything to be kind. It doesn't cost anything to be good. It doesn't cost anything to de-escalate a situation when it arises. You mustn't do like this, like try to trigger people all in a bid to show how powerful you are. We don't need all of that. We're going through a lot, as it were, in this country. This should be the least of our worries. I just thought to address this issue, and to also remind you guys, go to my YouTube channel and subscribe. I beg you guys. This is something like I've overbegged you people. Please go to my YouTube channel, subscribe, and keep supporting the Maureen Silver TV brand. Thank you guys for your time. I love you.